Hi, my name is Jason Hinners. I'm a territory manager with the Salford group. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about our I-2200. The I-2200, first of all, where we get our numbers for the model. The first two in 2200 stands for an 1 5/8" coil tech with a 22-inch blade. The second two in the 22 stands for 5-inch spacing versus 7.5, which would be on our other tools with the one there. It's equipped with several standard features. We have a cushioning hydraulic fore and aft hitch. As we get into hillier areas, going down draws, the accumulator on this fore and aft absorbs that shock, takes the pressure off the pins, less damage to the machine, prolonged life. On a 2200, you can put up to 100 pounds per foot on the machine. Some applications, some areas, you don't need the weights. When you get into a harder clay-based soil, or if you're running more fall acres than spring acres, we come off a wet summer and have a really dry fall. The ground gets really hard in a clay-based soil, and the extra weights help the coulters penetrate into the ground. This particular unit is split 50-50 as far as 13-wave and 8-wave blades. You have a 13-wave blade up front here, which just means there's 13 waves throughout this blade. In the rear, it's an 8-wave, so the blade's a little wider. You have about 1 3/4" footprint on a 13-wave 22-inch blade, or you have a 2 3/4 footprint on an 8-wave blade, 22-inch. The big reason we do that, the 13-wave blades actually size residue better because they're running straighter. An 8-wave runs more lateral, so it's throwing a little more dirt. When we combine the two, we get a good mix of cutting, penetrating in the front half, and covering up a little more dirt in the back half. On the back end of the machine here for the finishing attachment, we're running a 3-bar coil tine unit. These are 1/2-inch tines, 20 inches long. If you'll notice, the mount on the tines tilt back slightly, and the reason we do that is we're coming into the residue. It gets tighter as we go back, so the residue, it's easier for the residue to get through to the back, and then it gets tighter toward the back, and the rolling basket will grab that residue and pull it out. But what that does, it allows us to do more leveling without bunching up and leaving little beaver huts through the field, and also lets us disperse the residue into a better pattern throughout the field, so you don't see streaks of residue here and there, so it's all dispersed evenly. The 3-bar coil tine harrow has 5 adjustment points. Very simple to adjust. You simply pull back on your arm, bring it out of the slot, raise the spring-loaded arm, and run it however aggressive you want. All the way back, you're standing the tines virtually straight up. It's the most aggressive setting. You go all the way to the front. You're relaxing these harrows so they're not grabbing the residue as hard. Typically in a wet fall application, you're probably going to relax these. And this particular unit is also equipped with our hydraulic baskets, hydraulic lift baskets. If you'll notice, the arms are short with a curvature. And the reason we do that is because at times we will actually raise these baskets and let them carry across the field. And when you're running between 8 and 12 mile an hour, the strength in these arms is important, so we can carry the weight of the basket going across the field. So our hydraulic baskets are mounted with rubber cords. It takes the vibration from the basket into these cords rather than into the arms, and makes the welds last longer. You know, virtually no issues in this arm by taking the vibration and putting it into the cords. What we also do on our baskets is we have an open centered basket. There's no shaft going in through the center, so we can leave our baskets down in a wetter condition without plugging. As long as we're running speed and not a lot of down pressure, the baskets will stay open. If guys get to a point in the fall where the baskets would start plugging, they'll simply lift them up, let them ride, and use your coil tine harrow for the finish. One thing to point out on our hydraulic baskets, we're using the cylinders to put our baskets into place. There's a gauge on the front, 1 through 12, that virtually have no meaning other than a marking spot. When we set our basket down to the ground, we're not running a continuous flow to it. We're setting it to a certain point, and then we have down pressure springs that take over from there. So once we have it to a point we're still using the down pressure springs, you don't have to run a continuous line to the baskets to hold the baskets down for the pressure. We also offer a standard version mechanical lift arm and basket. The main difference is if you're going to run a standard basket, a lot of times guys are running a spring only application where it's not as wet of an area or as heavy of the soil, or they're not worried about risking plugging their baskets. Also, if you're running a 7.5 inch base tool versus a 5 inch base tool, we're bringing less dirt up to the top of the ground to plug a basket. So there are situations where a hydraulic lift basket is more beneficial. Typically when we're running a little more aggressive machine in a heavier soil, a little stickier soil, and in a fall application where we know we're going to be running in some wetter ground.